Court does call the case of the people versus Jenny Lou.
Rise on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Miss Lou. Miss Lou, please state your name for the record.
Jenny Lou.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing?
So, Your Honor, the mitigation report has been completed and has been sent to the people. So we are asking for an adjournment for plea negotiations, and hopefully we can get this case resolved.
All right. Court will adjourn this matter to
March 19th or April 2nd.
why don't we just do April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lou.
Thank you.
Court does call the case of the people versus Albert Vega.
Rise on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Dan Garrett on behalf of Albert Vega stepping forward. Albert, can you state your name to the judge, please?
Albert Vega.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, for arraignment purposes, we will waive reading and stand mute, please.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, the court will enter not guilty. Yes, sir.
However, for pretrial, I believe there is a resolution on the matter.
All right. And what is that?
Your Honor, it is my understanding that the defendant has agreed to plead as charged in count one, which is the counts are in the alternative. To plead as charged to count one, and that will be under the prosecutor's office deferred program.
Okay.
Complete restitution will be made at the time of sentencing. We are trying to determine the precise amount at this juncture, but my understanding from talking to Mr. Barron is that his client can make the restitution at the time.
He can, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. So plea to count one, dismiss count two, prosecutors deferred restitution at time of sentencing.
That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Have him sworn.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
Albert Vega.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of malicious destruction of personal property, 200 to 1,000. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year incarceration, a $2,000 fine plus court costs. Fine could be increased if the value of the property destroyed. If that is greater than $2,000, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And understanding all of that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You signed an advice of rights form today?
Yes.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Please look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your rights to appeal of right?
You get your right to appeal on this.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, Your Honor.
of your own free will
Yes, Your Honor.
and because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
July 16, 2024, at the location of State and Textile Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan. What did you do on that day involving the property of a Brianna Atwell that makes you think that you're guilty?
I got in a road rage incident and hit her car with a wrench.
Okay. And you had no interest or property interest in that vehicle that you had?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And I'm assuming, and this sounds crazy, sounds sort of self-evident, but you did that on purpose.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Well, was the damage to the property in excess of $200?
I believe so.
All right. Would you stipulate that the damage was in excess of $200?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, now have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count one. Count two is dismissed. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be April 9th, 2020, 9 a.m. As to bond in this case, I would set the defendant's bond at a personal recognizance $5,000 bond. I'm going to order standard conditions, including No assaultive behavior, no possession of any weapons. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
No possession of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. And you are not to have any contact with Brianna Atwell. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stop down at probation on your way out.
We will do that, Your Honor.
All right. Court calls the case of the People versus Douglas Hurd.
Ready, Judge.
Patricia Reiser,
Hello, Your Honor. Murray Duncan, appearing on behalf of the defendant Douglas Hurd. To my right.
Your name, sir?
Douglas William Hurd Jr.
Thank you.
Judge, we're asking for an adjournment. He had 2 citations given at the same time, a civil infraction, which I'm handling with Judge Byer, and I'm handling the misdemeanor with Your Honor. So we're trying to go back and forth.
We're efficient in that way. Go ahead. What?
So that's why I'm asking for an adjournment, so I can try to have it wrapped up.
Okay. So do you have a hearing before Judge Barr?
I have a hearing coming up with Judge Byer, and I have a different prosecutor on that case, so I'm going to work through that prosecutor and see if I can resolve both these cases.
Make things as easy as we can. When I hit.
The 19th, Judge.
19th,
yeah.
All right. During the matter to March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Sir. Court calls case People versus Cedric Blair.
Reiser on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Blair, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
I don't have it.
So, Your Honor, I do not have an explanation for Mr. Blair's failure to appear. There was a resolution in place and we did have a discussion over the phone yesterday. For the record, I'd respectfully request an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set by $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. There having been a previous warrant, this warrant will issue immediately.
Your Honor.
Court does call the case of the People versus Dave Loss.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf. I'm sorry. I'm jumping.
No, it's okay. I got both of you.
Oh, okay. On behalf of Mr. Bloss, I'm sorry if I interrupted you, Ms. Reiser. Obviously, everything's weird today for me. Mr. Bloss contacted me today that he will not be present. I know that there is a pending warrant on this case already. I advised him to turn himself into the jail, Your Honor, on that warrant. But that's all the information I have for the court.
All right. What did I set his bond at on that warrant? Is it no bond? It's no bond. Okay. All right. We'll leave the current bench warrant outstanding. All right. Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Kyle Burmeister.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Burmeister, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Yes, Kyle Burmeister.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm respectfully requesting a brief adjournment to further discuss this matter with both the people and my client.
Matter will be adjourned March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. Or as your invite indicates. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
sir.
Court does call the case of the People versus Billy Cobb Gully.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Bob Gully, who is not present, Your Honor, but I do have an explanation. Last night, he was petitioned by his mother in CMH to be admitted to U of M psych. So, and I did speak to his mother this morning, who was present in court, to confirm that with me. I asked her to send me some documentation. She was able to show me some stuff on her phone. I don't physically have it yet. That being said, I'd respectfully request an adjournment, possibly 3 or 4 weeks.
It's April 2nd.
Yes.
I'll adjourn the matter April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, bond will continue. Court does call the case of the people versus Chiffon Hayes.
Mr. Riser, on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Hayes. Your Honor, Ms. Hayes is not present in court. She is in Judge Perry's courtroom this morning as she is the alleged victim on a domestic violence case, and Judge Perry has settlement conferences today. I did try to get in touch with Ms. Londi about this, but obviously she's out. I did confirm that.
Is there any objection from the people to an adjournment?
No, Your Honor.
Didn't mean to shortcut you, Miss.
No problem. That's
Perry.
easy. Thank
No,
you, Judge.
because you were gonna go on for like hours and I don't have to. No.
Thank you.
I'll adjourn the matter March 19, 2025, 9 a.m. or they're invited, please. Thank you. Court does call the case, people versus Jessica Fox.
Mr. Riser, on behalf of the people.
Jessica Fox. Here, we'll issue an order to show cause. Court does call the case, the people versus Rick Artuso.
Mr. Riser, on behalf of the people.
Very nice. Okay, got it, I see it. Artuso? No response. We've already issued orders to show cause. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear in both of these matters. Bond 5,000, 10%. Warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case of the people versus Monisha James.
Mr. Riser, on behalf of the people.
Come on. What's your name?
Monisha James.
All right. Just 1 second, Ms. James. James, you are before the court on charge of the complaint alleges that on or about October 23rd, 2024, at the location of Textile and Platte Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, it alleges that you did operate a motor vehicle on Platte Road while your driver's license was suspended, denied, and or revoked. Do you understand the nature of that charge, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. There's a second or subsequent offense notice which enhances the maximum penalties in this case. That this now is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration or $1,000 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right. So first question I have for you, ma'am, do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
All right. It's a public defender case.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. James. We waive any further reading and stand mute to the charges, please, Your Honor.
Waive formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. Is this a state case or a Pittsfield?
It looks like a state case, Your Honor.
It's a state case. I would indicate that prior to setting in I adjourned it out, but her license is currently valid.
Yes, sir.
So let me give a short adjournment. So I'll adjourn it to the 19th, 9 a.m. I will set her bond at a $5,000 personal recognizance bond, standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior, possession of weapons, no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so just go again.
Court does call the case of the people versus Manuel Cox.
Riser,
Good morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein here for Manuel Cox, who's on Zoom.
Sir,
Hello,
please
hello, my
state your
name
name.
is Manuel Cox.
Thank you.
Your Honor, in this case, I think Ms. Foster Tucker had been discussing with Ms. Landy. So unfortunately, we don't have a resolution yet because Ms. Landy is unfortunately out. So I'm hoping for the briefest of adjournments to resolve it.
But I don't see an arraignment. You're,
In arraignment?
yeah, you have this set for an arraignment?
It is.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, formal reading.
Yes, Your Honor.
And in every way, formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pre-trial in this matter be adjourned March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates, bond is set, given this charge. Personal recognizance,
Thank you, Your Honor. And
$5,000 bond.
he does live out of state. He's a long distance truck driver based out of Arizona. This is that's an issue. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Court does call the case People versus Angela Walker.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein here for Miss Walker.
Your name?
Angela Walker.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, I know Ms. Foster Tucker had been discussing this with Ms. Landy as well. They had some back and forth by email. So perhaps the March 19th adjournment date, please.
She sent Sam here just to do this.
I'm not getting anything done this morning.
What? She sent him all the way down here, gave him no information, just said, go there and just. All right. March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m.
All
right. Thank you.
And I would like to apologize for the last time I was here. I was very overwhelmed when I walked out, and I promise it won't happen again.
Yeah, I remember.
I know.
Your apology.
It was horrific the next day when I came to. I realized what I did.
Just realized. All right.
Yeah.
We all have bad moments, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Take care.
All right. You too. All right.
Court does call the case as People versus Michael Klustra. That's you.
Mr. Reiser, yes.
Good morning, I'm Uwe Daus-Witten on behalf of Mr. Klustra, standing to my right. Mike, please state your name. As a student appearance in the file, I believe. Thank you. We're looking for an adjournment of 3 weeks, if we may have it, to get discovery from the public defender's office and then see what we have to work with.
During the matter, April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
Judge, may I make a request about Mr. Klustra's testing regimen? The case is a THC only case. Nothing else was detected in Mr. Klustra's system. He does not drink. He's been testing 3 or 4 times since then. He does have a medical marijuana card. I have a copy of it here. It was renewed recently. So he is going to test positive for THC. I don't see for testing him for that if nothing else is ever showing up in his system.
Has he provided the medical marijuana card to community corrections?
Not yet. I have it here. I can send it over there. Oh, you did yesterday? Mr. Klustra tells me he tested yesterday and on that occasion provided the card to community corrections. I think right now the testing regimen is twice a week. Mr. Klustra lives in Canton. He does not drive.
He lives where?
In Canton.
That's not that far.
But he doesn't drive since the incident.
Okay.
If it could be reduced.
We'll need an amended order. I'll amend the order. I won't completely eliminate testing, but I'll do once per week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good. Very good. Thank you very much.
Court does call the case of the People versus Logan Cyrus.
Mr. Reiser, here.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Cyrus. Mr. Cyrus, please state your name for the record.
Logan Cyrus. Morning.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, we're requesting an adjournment. We were hoping to have a resolution. However, I was unable to finalize that with Ms. Lundy. Mr. Cyrus is being held on some felonies. I think his next court date there is 3 weeks out. We'd ask for the 19th date if possible.
Without objection. March 19, 2025, 9 a.m. That'd be about right. Mr. Cyrus and I see each other about every 2 weeks, right? Like that, right? Okay, thank you, sir. Bond continued. Court calls the case, People versus Stephanie Hirsch.
Just rise our hand, people.
Albert, on behalf of Ms. Skibb. Ms. Skibb, please state your name for the record.
Stephanie Hirsch.
Oh,
Why are you upsetting Miss Reiser? Why is he upsetting Miss Reiser? Is he upsetting her?
Judge.
I'm just angry all the time.
No, oh, that is,
Your Honor,
that's so not true.
I have that effect on people sometimes. Do we want to just adjourn?
Yeah, you're about having that effect on me. No, go ahead.
Your Honor, my understanding is that there was an offer made by Ms. Lundy that if the defendant completed 10 hours community service or wrote an essay regarding the effect on the community from the actions she took, yeah, the case would be dismissed. Mr. Burdell tells me that she completed 9.5 hours of community service and then also wrote an essay. He referred to it as a letter. I have not received those things. If I can just get those from Mr. Burdell, then
Well, the last time we were here, I think she had done part of the community service and we adjourned it so that she could complete the community service.
That was my understanding as well.
Yeah, so she's at 9.5, wasn't able to complete the community service, but she did write, it's about almost 2 pages, single spaced essay / letter. We can adjourn it up to Ms. Lundy's here if that's what we do as well.
Okay, but March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Never mind. I'm going to quit asking questions. Court calls the case, People versus Charles Stridge.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with it on behalf of Mr. Fridge, who's approaching the podium. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Charles Ridge.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution in both of Mr. Fridge's matters and he will be pleading to MCL 257.326 in the case ending in 1130.
Okay.
And in exchange, count 1 will be dismissed, and then the case ending in 1106 will be dismissed in its entirety.
That is correct, Your Honor. So in case 1130, I move that count to CL 257.326.
All right. Has he signed any advice of rights form?
He is not, Your Honor. I apologize.
Sign one. And may I have Mr. Fridge sworn?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name.
Charles Ridge.
Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail, $100 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
In understanding that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding those rights?
No, sir.
Look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights of everyone.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plea?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce
No, sir.
you? You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, sir.
of your own free will
Yes, sir.
and because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes, sir.
On the date of August 16, 2024, at the location of Washtenaw near Gulfside, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible to operate that motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea in case 1 ending in 1130. 2 count 2, count 1 is dismissed, and the case ending in 1106 is dismissed. Anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No, sir.
Just briefly, Your Honor, I would ask the court maybe consider a time served sentence. Mr. Fridge has been in since February 22nd, or in the alternate for any fines and costs to be payable 60 days upon his release, after his release.
He's been in February 22nd?
Yes, February 22nd.
Fines and cost of $125. That's a minimum fees, and then 90 days defendant to serve. Well, defendant to serve 12 days. I'll give him credit for those 12 days. The balance is suspended. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls case People versus Anika Skibb.
Mr. Reiser, on behalf of the people.
However, on behalf of Ms. Skibb, who is approaching the podium, Ms. Skibb, please introduce yourself to the court.
My name is Annika Skibb.
Yes, I mispronounce it every time.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, today's the date and time set for pretrial and violation of bond. As to the, would the court prefer to address the bond violation first?
Hold on a second. Got it. Okay, go ahead.
Would the court prefer to address the bond violation first or the pretrial?
Bond violation.
So, Your Honor, at this time, Ms. Skibb is not going to contest the violation. She is going to admit the violation for drinking and testing positive on the silver link.
And Skibb, why?
Your Honor, I'm very ashamed because this mistake was absolutely not indicative of the work I've been putting in the last few months, regularly attending meetings, and I'm very involved in the AA community in this area. I did an assessment by First Step Referral Services and was advised to complete inpatient treatment, and this is not at all acceptable, but the idea of having to be away from my son and the stress of this case on me, I allowed it to get to me. And when I messed up, I panicked, but I am currently at Dawn Farm.
Do I have the violation?
And it is the 90-day program, correct? Yeah, so she's in the gold standard, the big one.
Well, I'm looking for my copy of the. I may have it. Was it from?
February 20th.
No.
I believe that's the date of the violation that I have. Well, the report is dated the 20th, yeah.
That's what I saw. How much were you drinking?
The day of the 20th, so the first day, I believe I had
The day of the 20th?
the day of the 20th is when I thought the report was sent from, Your Honor.
No, let's get, have you seen the bond violation report?
I have not.
Have you had a chance to look at it? We discussed it, Judge, but we haven't.
Sorry, I was thinking about the 18th, Your Honor.
On the 18th,
Yes.
you blew a .12.
I had had 2 drinks. Was immediately after, I believe so. I had had, I believe, 2 drinks, possibly 3. I don't remember exactly.
Then immediately after that, basically through that, that was at 10:33 when you blew those numbers. And then basically into the early morning of the 19th, you missed your testing.
Correct.
Are you indicating to me on the 18th, you had 2 drinks?
No, Your Honor, I'm saying I don't remember how many. I believe it was 2 right before breathalyzing. I believe it was.
And then how many did you have after that?
Again, I don't know. Was a few drinks the next day as well.
What?
It was at least a few drinks the next day as well. I don't remember exactly how many, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I didn't measure.
Because then at 1, well, basically 2 o'clock that next day, PM, you blow a .09.
Correct, Your Honor. Like I said, I panicked and I was drinking for the next day, so.
You kept not retesting as it's required. And then by 9 o'clock that night, you blew a .267. Mr. Allen. And you say now you're in treatment?
Yes, I'm currently at Dawn Farm and I was in jail for 6 days.
Anything else you want to say?
Your Honor, Ms. Skip has been very honest and open with me about this and about her problems with her drinking. She is at, like I said, she is at Dawn Farm. From my understanding, I believe it is going to be effective, and correct me if I'm wrong, eager to get back on track. She is deeply regretful and remorseful of her mistakes. She's been honest with me the whole time, and I don't believe she's tried to hide this at any point. But we are asking that, Your Honor, that she be allowed to return to Dawn Farm rather than the custody of the county today.
And then what will I do with her?
Your Honor, I suppose see what happens at Dawn Farm after 90 days. She is inpatient. It is inpatient, Judge, if that makes sense.
Do I have it?
I'm sorry.
Do you have proof of that?
We don't have any. Do you have the written documentation here right now?
I have So I have documentation from the farm with me. I also signed a legal release of information to Mr. Bradell on Monday when I was admitted. I also
Right now, I don't have anything.
I have a peer with me that's from the farm that is also with me. If possible, we can call the farm. Whatever proof is needed, I will be able to get to you today. I didn't realize that I needed more than the legal release of information.
Well, somehow or another, that information's got to get to me, but this, based upon the violation that I see, defendant's bond is revoked. I'm going to remand her to the Washtenaw County Jail. I'll set it out 1 week during the sentencing and review that, but right now it's revoked, defendant's remanded.
Understand.
You got. Court does call the case of the people versus John Fulton.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
No attorney. Your name, sir?
John Fulton.
No what? The PD's on this case?
I believe that's a different case they're on. I think 007-241-0079. The PD is appointed. I don't think he has.
What's the charge on that one?
Same charge, drove while license expired.
We only have one case for him today. On 240.
You show the PD on 240 also?
Yeah. That other case is set for March 19th.
The other case I have.
0079 is set for March 19th.
Okay. So.
Sorry, Your Honor.
We're showing that the PD is on this case also. It's certainly on the other case.
Yes, we have it on the other case, Your Honor. I apologize. Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pick on behalf of Mr. Fulton. We did not have that we were on this case, Your Honor. I would respectfully request a very brief adjournment so that could be put on the same docket on the other case. And I would also.
What? Go ahead.
Oh, I would also, sorry, I do apologize. Would the court be able to tell me if Mr. Fulton is being held on anything else other than these two misdemeanor matters?
Well, I don't know because this case, the bond was set by Judge Bauer, I guess, doing the arraignments at $10. So he must be held. You're held on something else, sir?
No, just I had a driving with no license, and then I got robbery.
Yeah.
Robbery.
30,000 cash. I think it's on tomorrow.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that may explain. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll adjourn this matter out. I'll leave his bond at the $10, but I'll adjourn this matter out to March 19, 2025, 9 a.m.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I hate to interrupt, and I know it's weird.
Well, no, you don't, but go ahead.
Looking at the ROA, it looks like he pled no contest on February 24th in front of Judge Barr. So this case has been.
No. Okay. A no contest plea on. I don't think it's no contest.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is nothing is checked at the top. The only note I have is it says enter N period. I see it as a G and not a C.
Okay. Yeah, the ROA says pled nolo contendere cash bond set $10 rights form signs. So I'm not sure.
Well, no, so they need to correct that.
Yeah,
because it's got to be, I think it was a not guilty plea.
Okay.
On the 24th, which is why this date then got set as a pretrial.
That
Had
makes
it been
sense.
a no contest plea, he would have either have been sentenced or he would have been set for next week on my sentencing doc.
Right.
So I think that's a G and not a C.
When I went for my pretrial, the judge did say that it was something out of Pittsfield Township for a ticket. And he was just gonna add it to this case. I don't know. I didn't know what that meant, so I just,
There was something else out of Pittsfield and he was gonna add it to this.
well, he said that I had something out of Pittsfield, a ticket out of Pittsfield.
Might be the one set for the,
Might be the other one set on the 19th,
that'd be my guess.
which is, then I don't understand why they set this one for the 5th. Not my doing. I have bad writing, but I'll talk to my colleague about G and C. They're kind of similar, but one's got a line. I'm just saying.
I have no comment.
Okay. No, because my penmanship is perfect. So.
So I'll be down to see it before the 19th. Sir.
Wow, man, here. So what I'm gonna do, sir, is I'm gonna set this case on the 19th with your other case.
Okay.
See if we can figure that out.
Okay.
All right, and then I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Robert, do you have the status of his license available? Might as well get that out of the way right now.
It was suspended and then I
His
went,
license right now is expired.
Expired. Okay.
Yeah.
I went over.
It,
I wish my nose was covered.
yeah. Renewal. Right, but right now it's expired. It looks to me like it might have expired back in 2018.
It did.
It did. It did. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Court does call the case, People versus Christopher Holt.
Good morning. Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Holt. Mr. Holt, please state your name.
Christopher Holt.
Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Your Honor, we are requesting an adjournment. I am waiting for the police report to come through.
All right. Adjourn at March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. Or as your invite indicates. Bond will continue. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Holt.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Julius Gardner.
Conrad Silver. Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Gardner. Mr. Gardner, please state your name for the record.
Julius Gardner.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we have come to resolution. Mr. Gardner is going to plead no contest to operating while visibly impaired. And in exchange, count 1 will be dismissed. I did review the advice of rights form with him, and Ms. Pate is having him sign that currently at the podium.
That's correct, Your Honor. So I moved that count 2 of operating while impaired. You said that quickly. This real attorney.
While we wait, the basis for a no contest plea.
Potential civil liability, Your Honor.
Let's have him sworn.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, but the truth, so help you God? State your name. Julius Gardner.
All right, sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead no contest to the charge of operating while visibly impaired. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, up to a $300 fine plus court costs. The court could order community service or any rehabilitative programs the court deems necessary. The court could order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand all of that, sir?
Yes.
Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes.
Two things about it, I have to make sure that you understand it. First of all, it means that you're not further desirous and wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Understand?
All right. Still wish to plead no contest?
Yes, I do.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
I do.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form. Do you have any questions regarding any of those rights?
Not at all.
All right. Please look at paragraph 5. You see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights contained on that form.
I do.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
No.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily? Sir, you need to look this way.
Say something to me.
Pardon?
Say something to me.
Okay. You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
and of your own free will?
Yes.
All right. Court has counsel been provided Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 194485. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to, I'm going to refer him to probation for screening and assessment and the victim's impact panel. Sentencing in this matter will be March 26, 2025, 1 p.m. Bond with its conditions will continue. Well, hold on a second. Are you being held on something else?
Yeah.
He has a hearing on April 3rd with Judge Washington. He's being held on like $150,000 bond. He just resolved his felonies on Tuesday.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're getting credit on this. Do you have his bond at a PR on this case?
Yeah.
You do? You got a PR. All right. So what I'm going to do, since your next hearing before Judge Washington is what day?
April 3rd.
So he'll be in up until the time of sentencing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set your bond so that you get credit in this case for $1,000 cash surety. That way he'll get credit on the time that he spent it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Robin Nobles, 3 cases.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant
Riser on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan.
Sorry, Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Nobles, who is present via Zoom, I believe from Bear River Health. Ma'am, can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Robin Nobles.
All right. Okay, what are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ultimately, I'm requesting a brief adjournment of all 3 matters. There is a offer in the 2 township cases that would resolve them that I do just need to speak further to my client about and get some documentation to have those be resolved. I believe she will still be in Bear River Health at that time. Is that correct, Ms. Nobles?
No, I'm currently graduated at 90 days completion.
Okay.
You did graduate?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay,
So
great.
Not after, so, okay, so where is she now?
I do not know. We were playing a bit of phone tag, which might be why the messages I left at Bear
Sorry.
River. So Ms. Nobles, later this afternoon, try calling the main office of the public defenders, ask for Natalie, and then we'll be able to have a conversation.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll adjourn these out to March 19th, and then at least that way you can see where you are on it. But, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
March 19th, 9 a.m. or where invite indicates. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nobles.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Matthew Gibbons.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Gibbons, who is approaching the podium.
Your name, sir?
Matthew Gimmings.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. There was a offer extended in this matter, which I did discuss with my client. At this time, we're asking for an adjournment. He's being held on a felony matter, and my client would like to see what happens with this felony case before making a decision on this one. He's scheduled for a PCC tomorrow, however, so I'd ask for a 2 to 3 week adjournment.
During this matter, March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus Jocelyn Satterfield.
Mr. Riser, on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Satterfield. Ms. Satterfield, please state your name for the record.
You need to- There she is. All right. Very good. All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we have come to a resolution. Ms. Satterfield is going to plead to an added count of no operator's license on her person in exchange for a dismissal of count 1.
If I could just have a moment.
Yes. That's right.
Ms. Perry, I'm just going to assume that you worked that out with Ms. Lundy.
Yes, yes.
I apologize. This is a file that is based on a ticket, so I don't have notes on it, but I will accept your word there and we will proceed with the agreement.
Ms. Satterfield, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name again for the record, please.
Jocelyn Satterfield.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of no valid operator's license on person. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
All right, and to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Correct. Yes.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
Understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yeah.
And also because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes.
All right. November 25th, 2024, at the location of eastbound I-94 near State Street, in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan. Were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, I was.
Did you get stopped by the police?
Yes, I did.
Did the police request a driver's license?
Yes.
And were you unable to give them a valid driver's license?
Valid, yes, but I did permit in hand. I remember having my permit because I have an interlock in my car. So I was driving without that's what it basically was supposed to be, driving a car with an interlock. But he said, well, we'll change it to something else. So I took the plea that, I didn't have a valid driver's license and I wasn't supposed to have been driving a regular vehicle. But I wasn't drunk or drinking.
Just do it this way. The officer asked you to produce a driver's license, correct? Did the officer ask you for a driver's license?
Yes, he did.
And you were unable to produce a valid driver's license for the vehicle that you were operating. Is that correct?
Yes.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count two. Count one is dismissed. Anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No.
Fines and costs of $250. I'll suspend 90 days in jail. When can you pay the $250, ma'am?
I'm just getting back to work. Maybe probably within like a month.
Pay it by April 15th, 2025.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good.
Mr. Young, when you approach the podium, can you state your name, please?
Shane
Allen Young.
Okay. All right. What are we doing?
So, Your Honor, we adjourned these cases out to get proof of drug treatment over to Mr. Stiller. However, I'm saying this for partially Mr. Young's sake as well. One of the cases arise after he did completed treatment. So we need to work something else out. I did not catch that, so it's partially my fault. So I'm asking for an adjournment. He is being held on I believe it's like a $25,000 bond, another case. So the other case is holding him. So that's where we're at.
Are you going to be able to, you think, accomplish everything by the 19th, or do you want the 2nd?
I'd ask for the 19th, please.
All right. Matters adjourned to March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. Both cases. All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's it for that block. All right. Court's in recess.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Your name?
Oh, Jason Williams.
Oh, I think you were muted when you said the name. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Williams.
Muted?
Yeah, I didn't get to.
No, don't be taking responsibility for Parody's mess. All right.
It is.
All right. What are we doing?
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Williams, as for the pretrial, we're asking for an adjournment for plea negotiations so I can speak with Ms. Londy. And then there is a violation report that the court received as well.
Yes.
And to address that, so that Mr. Williams has missed a few tests. His reason being that he works at U-Haul. He works Monday through Thursday, 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. Every time he has called to test, it has been through those periods. Obviously, the court knows that community corrections is closed at 4:30 and he can't get there from Novi in time. He doesn't want to imply that his schedule is more important than his bond conditions, but he does need his job. He needs to keep working. He's both employed at U-Haul and works at Texas Roadhouse part-time on the weekends. He did tell me that if he went and tested today, he would test clean. He's also enrolled in outpatient treatment in Detroit. He is attending that every Friday. And he's testing once a month there, which I know is different than the time frame as his bond conditions here. So I'm asking the court to continue his bond. If the court wants him to test today, if he obviously can. And I don't.
He hasn't been testing, hasn't tested since his intake.
Right. Yes, he went right over. I believe he went over there after his arraignment, and then every time since has been working when his number has been called, or his color.
He's got a test. I mean,
Okay. That's no problem.
What's no problem?
For me to test, I was just wondering, like, since I work in Novi, and I was talking to the Miss Kerr over there, she also mentioned it was a Novi place I could test that.
That's
Oh,
fine. I
oh,
don't,
oh.
but, and you have to sign and release it with community corrections.
Yes.
I have a problem with that, but I can't have all of these missed tests.
Oh, you won't, sir. And she told me that I had to speak with the judge in order for it to get changed. The test in Novi. And also,
You have to sign a release so that the testing center in Novi sends the reports to community corrections.
so I got to go to Novi and get a release form.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna indicate, I'm gonna adjourn this out to March 19, 2025, 9 a.m. Or as your invite indicate, I'll indicate defendant may test in Novi with results to community corrections. But if I get back here and there's another missed test, I'll probably have to get a new order. But if I have any more missed tests, I'm just sending.
Okay, you're not. You're not. Hey, sir, one more thing. Is it possible when I test that could I do the oral swab for the drug test?
You're not in a position to ask for anything.
Okay.
Because I should be sending you today. It's only because of what Ms. Perroney's indicated that I'm even giving you this opportunity.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Frederick Warden.
Riser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Warden, who's here in person. Mr. Warden, please state your name.
Frederick Warden. Thank you.
Your Honor, we are requesting an adjournment. I have not been able to connect with Mr. Warden. I think we were playing a little bit of phone tag. So we just asked for the 19th date, if that's okay with the people in the court.
I don't have a problem with adjournment. It looks like there is maybe this is an old one. I just saw a community corrections report.
So I know there was one I don't have an updated one. I know the last time we were here, and now it's escaping me the reason why, but Mr. Warden this court did require Mr. Warden to go over to community corrections and test at his last pretrial date, and those tests came back as negative. So that's maybe what
are you seeing? Because I don't.
I think it's what Ms. Perry is
referring to.
I'm just wondering, are there, I don't see a note in my file about bond conditions. Is there a requirement for testing? Because the substance here was cocaine.
I would be surprised if there is not, but yeah, he's supposed to be testing at community corrections on case ending in 1625. Yes, it was signed on February 19th.
Thank you.
He was to test today and he's got 2 times per week. Are you doing that testing?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what I will do is did you guys have gotten your information together, but I'll do April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
All right. You're all set. Thank you, sir. Court calls case People versus Todd Allen.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Allen. Your Honor, Mr. Allen has given me permission to admit responsibility to double parking on his behalf.
So, Your Honor, I move to add count 2 of double parking, accept that admission, and move to dismiss the original charge.
And Ms. Perry, on behalf of your client, you admit responsibility to the fact that they double parked a motor vehicle in Pittsfield Township on November 28, 2024.
I do.
Court will accept that admission. Fines and cost of $180 and count one is dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can that be paid?
He's asking for 4 weeks, Your Honor.
Of course he is. Pay it by April 4th, 2025. Court calls the case of the people versus, is it Zoe Brooks?
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Brooks. I don't see Ms. Brooks in the courtroom, Your Honor. I have not had contact.
I'm sorry.
She's
I
here.
had to use a different account for the Zoom today. Sorry.
Oh, great. Well, I'm happy Ms. Brooks is here. However, we have not had contact, Your Honor. I maybe if the court could tell us the status of her license.
My license is valid as of last week.
It's valid. It's valid.
Say it again.
License is valid.
Yes, sir.
So, Ms. Brooks, the prosecutor has extended an offer to dismiss the misdemeanor against you if you admit responsibility to double parking, which is a civil infraction. Fine of $180 doesn't go on your criminal record. It does not go on your driving record.
Okay, that's fine. I also paid a bond of $500. Will it be taken out of that, or do I have to just provide another $180?
Hold on. You see five. There is 500 in there.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm sorry, it's a third party.
It's a third party poster. So you'll have to pay. It's a third party poster. The bond's not in your name.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to pay the 180.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
All right. Hold on a second. Sir, and you're adding that, Mr.
Your Honor, I'm going to move that count to double parking. If you accept that admission, we dismiss the original charge.
All right. And do you admit responsibility to the fact that on July 11th, 2021, Washington Avenue, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Court will accept that admission to count two. Count one is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can you get that paid?
I'll probably be up there next week. I'm trying to, you guys are my last court that I had to deal with, so I'll probably trying to get it out the way. So I'll probably be up there by no later than I say third. Nah, let's just do the week after, whatever. Not next week, but whatever the week after that is. It's fine, just to make sure. I don't want to be on the safe side.
Pay it by March 21st.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Calls case people versus Christian Ramirez Fernandez.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Ramirez Fernandez. Mr. Ramirez Fernandez, can you please state your name for the record?
Christian Ramirez.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, we have come to resolution. Mr. Ramirez is going to be pleading guilty to a reduced charge of operating while visibly impaired in exchange for a dismissal of count one.
So, Your Honor, move that count two, operating while visibly impaired. If you accept it, please move to dismiss the original charge.
Have you signed an advice rights form, sir? Probably not.
What do you say? What do you say? I couldn't hear you.
Did you sign an advice of rights form?
No.
I did review it with him and provided him with
we
a
did,
copy,
but I
Your
didn't
Honor.
sign it.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
Christian Ramirez.
Sir, this is court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of operating while visibly impaired. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, up to a $300 fine plus court costs. The court could order community service and any rehabilitative programs the court deems necessary. The court could also order your vehicle immobilized. Court order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that?
I do, sir.
All right. And understanding that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, I do.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind?
I do.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
I do not.
You look on the podium, please look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights, which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
I do.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
I do.
Are you on probation or parole?
I do not.
Okay. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
Doing this voluntarily?
Yes.
Of your own free will?
Yes.
And because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes.
On November 5th, 2024, at the location of Washtenaw Avenue, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Prior to operating that motor vehicle, did you consume intoxicating liquor?
I did.
What did you have and how much?
2 shots of tequila. Last drink was at 9 p.m.
Okay. Were you stopped by the police or was there an accident?
Let's got stopped by the police.
All right. Why'd they stop you?
I was picking up my friends from the bar, and while my friends start walking home, so I park Spice Street Apartments, and while my friends got out of the car, trying to tell him to get in the car, so that's why the police stopped us after that.
They stopped.
Yeah, they thought like it was a
All
fighting.
right. Were you ultimately arrested?
Yes.
And were you taken to the hospital or police station?
Yes, I put the hospital.
Hospital. Was there a blood draw?
Yes.
And do you know what the result of that blood draw was?
0.12. 0.12. Yeah.
Pardon?
0.120.
120. All right. Do you have any reason to dispute those blood test results?
No.
Taking everything into consideration on that date and at that time, do you believe that your ability to operate the motor vehicle was visibly impaired due to your consumption of alcohol?
No, but I know I did a mistake driving like that.
So, Mr. Ramirez, remember how we talked about this charge is saying that you drank alcohol, and when the cops arrived, you appeared intoxicated?
Yes.
All right. So do you believe that your ability to operate the motor vehicle was visibly impaired, meaning somebody else would have been able to notice
Yes,
that
I do.
about you?
Yes,
You
I
do?
do. Yes.
All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendants referred to Von Schwartz for an alcohol screening assessment, and the victim's impact panel sentencing in this matter will be April 9th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond with its conditions will continue. All right, sir, stop down the hallway at probation, check in there, okay? Let them know that you entered a plea.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Court does call the case of the people versus Ava Tompkins.
Mr. Reiser, on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Tompkins, who should be present via Zoom.
Yeah, I'm here.
There she is. All right, state your name, please.
Ava Tompkins.
Your Honor, I'm respectfully requesting, I believe, just a very brief final adjournment. I have discussed this briefly with Ms. Londi. I know she's out sick this week, so I believe we will be able to resolve this matter at the next pretrial.
March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued. All right. Thank you, Ms. Tompkins.
Thank
you, Your Honor.
Court calls case of the people versus Crystal Turner Ned.
Mr. Reiser, on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Turner Ned, who is present via Zoom. Ma'am, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Crystal Turner Ned.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Your Honor, there is a resolution in this matter that I worked out on speaking with Ms. Londi, which that Ms. Londi would be allowing Ms. Turner Ned to admit responsibility to the civil infraction of failing to stop, and the misdemeanor license charge would be dismissed.
The failing to stop an assured clear distance.
Yes, the civil infraction. Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, my find some. Okay. Is that a correct statement, Ms. Riley?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. What are you talking? Okay. All right, Miss Turner, Ned, do you, just looking here. Yes, you admit responsibility to the fact that on January 18th, 2024, at the location of westbound I-94 near Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that in operating a motor vehicle, you failed to stop in a shared clear distance.
Yes, sir.
All right. Court will accept that admission to count two. Count one is dismissed. Fines and costs of $120. When can you get that paid?
And I have until the 3rd of April. I'm the caregiver for my family. And I just need, well, that's when my husband get paid on the 3rd. So
Pay it by April 4th,
thank you.
2025.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yep, take care.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Your Honor. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Court calls the case People versus Natasha Olmos.
Mr. Rice, on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Olmos in the case ending in 1426, which is set for pretrial and expecting appointment on the other matter.
Ms. Olmos?
Hi, Natasha Olmos. I'm here.
Okay, there you are. Gotcha. Okay. It's almost, I'll start with the case ending in 250092. You're here for arraignment. And it's a 2-count complaint. Actually, a 3-count complaint. The complaint alleges that on or about October 5th, 2024, location of Gulfside Road and Washtenaw Avenue, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you operated a motor vehicle while intoxicated with occupants less than 16.
Correct.
Do you understand the nature of that charge, ma'am?
If you could explain it to me a little bit more, I'd appreciate that.
All right. What that charge indicates is that you did operate a motor vehicle upon Gulfside and Washtenaw Avenue, and that Camilla Penley and or is it Julia's almost, that they were persons less than 16 years of age were occupying the vehicle at the time that you were driving that vehicle while intoxicated. Does that make sense to you?
It does make sense. The only thing is only
Hey,
my
hold
daughter.
on, ma'am.
Say anything about the case.
Ma'am,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not here to ask whether or not you did it.
Okay.
I don't need to know your position necessarily on the charges.
Okay.
What I'm indicating, what I'm asking you is, do you understand what you are charged with?
Yes. Yes.
All right. That is a misdemeanor punishable by a fine between $200 to $1,000, not more than 1 year in jail, 30 to 90 days community service, or both. You could also be ordered to pay the costs of the prosecution, could be ordered to any rehabilitative programs, and could be required to reimburse for any emergency governmental services and or expenses, including your prosecution in this case. Your vehicle is also subject to forfeiture and or immobilization. You understand that those are the maximum penalties, ma'am?
Yes.
Count 2 alleges the offense of child abuse in the 4th degree, alleging that you did knowingly and intentionally commit the following acts, which is driving while intoxicated with a minor child in the motor vehicle. And that those posed an unreasonable risk of harm or physical injury to the child. Do you understand what you're charged with in regard to child abuse 4th degree?
Yes.
That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year or probation up to 5 years. Do you understand the maximum penalties?
Yes.
Count 3 is the same charge of child abuse in the 4th degree, which you said you understood. You understand that?
Yes.
That's also, as I've indicated, a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year or probation up to 5 years. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
First question I have for you is, do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
This is a public defender case.
Yes.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pay with and on behalf of Ms. Almos, I would waive any further reading, stand mute, ask for a PR bond as well as an adjourned pretrial date. And not to speak too soon, Your Honor, but I would ask for the April 2nd date for both cases, if Your Honor would allow.
Got it. Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, the court will enter a not guilty plea. Alleged BAC in
Your Honor, in this matter, the alleged BAC was 0.186. The PBT on scene was 0.237, notably. The lab results also indicated presence of THC 3.3 nanograms.
Got it.
We are asking for a scram tether.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. All right. Set the defendant's bond at a $10,000. Oh, no, I'm sorry, a $20,000 personal recognizance bond. I will order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior and no possession of any weapons. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
There's also to be no possession of any or consumption of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. You understand that?
Yes.
I'm also going to order that you are to report to the Department of Community Corrections for placement on a scram tether. You are to do that within 24 hours. I will be signing the order momentarily for you to report there. You understand that?
What is a scram tether?
It's a tether that will monitor whether or not you are using any alcohol at any given point in time.
Okay.
I'm also going to order, as part of that, you'll be on a scram tether. And then because of the THC in your system, do you have a medical marijuana card?
I do not.
I'm also going to order urine tests be performed 1 time per week. So I've signed that order.
Okay.
Right? I will adjourn both of these matters to April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court does call the case, People versus Caleb Whaley.
Hello,
State your name.
my name is Caleb Whaley.
The citation alleges that on or about January 26, 2025, southbound US 23 in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, state of Michigan, that you operated a motor vehicle without proper insurance or security. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court custody. You understand that, sir?
I do understand that.
All right. First question I have for you is, do you want to be represented by an attorney on this case?
Would that make this longer than today?
I don't know how to answer that.
I apologize.
All I can tell you is that there may be certain advantages in terms of a deal that you might be able to reach regarding these cases that will have less long-term consequences for you.
Yes, I would like to be represented by an attorney.
Public defender case.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Parney on behalf of Mr. Whaley. Your Honor, we waive formal reading and stand mute to the charges, please.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, the court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. I'll order standard conditions, including no assault behavior or possession of any weapons, no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or illegal drug use.
Your Honor,
Set
if
his
I
bond
may,
at a $5,000 personal recognizance. Yes.
Mr. Whaley lives out of state, so I'm in Ohio. I'm just asking for him, for permission for him to remain there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can stay. If he
I have a-
wants to, he can stay. That's his business.
I have
No.
a question. I have a question. If I
Yes.
if I talk about it today, could I get it resolved today?
That's not likely to happen.
Okay.
All right. So I'll adjourn it to April 2nd, talk with your attorney, and then maybe there's a resolution that can come from it. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court does call the case, People versus Jose Perez Ramirez.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township in both cases.
See, they are not present. These were show causes for their failure to appear for arraignment. Bench warrants will issue for the defendant's failure to appear in each of these cases. Bond will be set in the amount of $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. Those warrants will issue immediately.
The next few cases require a Spanish interpreter. Can I come swear in Miss Maggie?
Yes, you may.
Good morning, Maggie. Are
Good
we
morning.
set to proceed?
I'm ready to
Thank
speak.
you, ma'am. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will interpret accurately, freely and impartially, using your best skill and judgment, and to translate from English into Spanish and from Spanish into English in the manner now before the court to help you God?
Thank you. I do. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
And good morning, Maggie. How are you?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
I'm glad.
Does call the case of the people of Pittsfield Township versus Odalia Lopez.
Llamamos el caso de el pueblo de Pittsfield contra Odalia López.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brad Thompson appearing on behalf of the defendant.
Buenos días, Su Señoría Brett Thompson, compareciendo a nombre de la defendida.
Conrad Siller for Pittsfield Township.
Conrad Siller, a nombre del pueblo de Pittsfield.
All right. And what are we doing today?
¿Y qué es lo que estamos haciendo el día de hoy?
We've reached an agreement where the defendant is going to plead to double parking.
Hemos logrado un acuerdo en el que la defendida está de acuerdo a declararse por estacionar en doble línea.
I am fluent in Spanish, and I've also reviewed the advice of rights and printed it out for her in Spanish language, reviewed it with her, and she's willing to accept the plea agreement today.
Yo hablo español con fluidez y ya hemos repasado la notificación de derechos. Yo la imprimí y también ella pudo leerla y la conversamos y ella está dispuesta a aceptar la oferta el día de hoy.
That is correct, Your Honor. So
Es
I
correcto,
added, I would add count 2 of double parking, accept that admission, and move to dismiss the original charge.
Si yo estaría agregando el cargo de doble estacionamiento o estacionamiento paralelo y desestimaríamos el cargo original.
Ms. Lopez, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on December 16th, 2024, Carpenter Road in Pittsfield Township, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Señora, ¿admite usted que el 16 de diciembre del 2024, usted en la Carpenter Road, en el pueblo de Pittsfield, usted estacionó en doble línea?
Sí.
Yes.
Court will accept that admission of responsibility. Count 2, count 1 is dismissed.
El tribunal aceptará esa aceptación de responsabilidad del cargo número 2. El cargo número 1 se desestima.
Fines and cost of $180. When can you pay that?
Multas y costos por $180. ¿Cuánto puede pagarlo?
Before March 24th.
antes del 24 de marzo.
Pay it by March 31st, 2025.
Páguelo a más tardar el 21 de marzo del 2025.
All right. Thank you, folks.
Bueno, muchas gracias.
Thank you, Honor. Thank you, interpreter, and thank you, Attorney Siller.
Gracias a su señoría y la intérprete. My pleasure.
Okay, we got a couple more here. Maggie. Court
Yes,
does
sir.
call the case of the people versus Melvin Diaz Calderon.
El tribunal llama el caso del pueblo contra Melvin Díaz Calderón.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Patricia Reiser a nombre del pueblo.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Diaz Calderon, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please state your name for the court?
Defensora pública asistente Natalie Payne, compareciendo por el defendido que aparece por Zoom. Señor, ¿puede decir su nombre, por favor?
Hola, mi nombre es Melvin Wilmer Díaz Calderón.
Hello, good morning. My name is Melvin Diaz Calderon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just yesterday, I was able to receive some documentation from my client that I did send over to Ms. Londi. However, I do believe the people would need some time to review that. I would be asking for an adjournment of this pretrial.
Bueno, su señoría, justo ayer pude recibir documentación de mi cliente, la cual documentación que le envié a la señorita Landy. Sin embargo, supongo que el pueblo va a necesitar tiempo para revisarlo, por lo cual estoy solicitando un aplazamiento.
I will adjourn this to April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Entonces aplazamos este caso para el 2 de abril del 2025 a las 9 a.m.
Bond will continue with its conditions.
Se continúa con la misma fianza y condiciones.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Gracias.
We'll be in touch again.
Estaremos en contacto.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of the people of Pittsfield Township versus David Reyes Perez.
El tribunal llama el caso del pueblo de Pittsfield contra David Reyes Pérez.
Conrad Siller for Pittsfield Township.
Conrad Siller, a nombre del pueblo de Pittsfield.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Perez.
Buenas tardes, defensora pública asistente Lauren Perny, a nombre del señor Pérez.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Mi nombre es David Pérez.
My name is...
Quisiera que me repitiera la pregunta, no logré escuchar.
My name is David Perez. Can you repeat the question? I was not able to hear.
There was no question for you, sir.
No se le hizo ninguna pregunta a usted, señor.
Okay.
Your Honor, we are asking for an adjournment of this pretrial. Mr. Perez is working on getting his license.
Su señoría, estamos solicitando posponer esta cita preparatoria porque el señor Pérez está tratando de conseguir su licencia.
We'll adjourn it to April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates.
Entonces posponemos este caso para el 2 de abril del 2025 a las 9 a.m. o según lo indique la invitación que reciba.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Linda tarde.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Is that it for me? Maggie, thank you.
Thank you, Your
As usual,
Honor.
beautiful job.
Thank you, Your Honor. Really appreciate it. Nice seeing you. Have a good day.
Good seeing you. Take care. Court stands in recess. And court does call the case people of Pittsfield versus Dimitri Butler.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Nebby Pitt with and on behalf of Mr. Butler stands to my right. Please your name for the record, sir.
Dimitri Butler.
Thank you, Your Honor. There has been an offer extended in this matter to that I believe my client will be accepting today of double parking.
That's correct, Your Honor. So I move to add count 2 of double parking. If you accept that admission, I move to dismiss the original charge. Mr. Butler does have a temporary instructional permit now.
Mr. Butler, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on October 23rd, 2024, at the location of golf site in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
All right, court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. You gonna be able to learn to drive?
Yes.
Hold on, where,
I believe in him.
do you?
I do.
I'm just looking at where he lives. I'll stay out of that area for a while. Anyway, fines and cost of 180. When can you get that paid?
Friday.
This Friday? Okay. That's the 7th? All right, pay it by March 10th, that Monday. In case you get caught up in something or need to find a ride. No, I'm kidding. You take care.
Thank you.
What calls the case? People versus Laura Cancroft.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Ms. Kane Cross, who gave me authorization to accept the offer on her behalf.
So, Your Honor, I move to add count 2 of double parking. Ms. Pate's going to admit responsibility on behalf of her client. If you accept that, I move to dismiss the original charge.
And on behalf of your client, you admit responsibility to the fact that they double parked a motor vehicle on November 30th, 2022 in Pittsfield Township.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. Now here we go. When can they pay that?
She said she could pay it after March 8th,
Oh,
I believe is a Saturday. So I would ask for maybe Monday.
stop. Pay by March 10th, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That took me off guard. She was like Paige, she was gonna ask for June. Court calls the case, People versus DeMacio Cummings.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings, please state your name for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. D'Amico Cummings for the record.
D'Amico Cummings, enter. All right.
Your Honor, we're here for a pretrial. Mr. Cummings is still working on getting his license, so we'd ask for an adjournment.
April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Definitely. Y'all have a nice day.
You do the same.
Definitely.
Court calls the case, People versus Ashley Fix.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Ms. Fix, Your Honor, who I'm not sure if she's present.
I do not see her. Are both cases on?
No, only one ending in 0166.
That's right. The other one's in Watch case. She's not here.
No, Your Honor, and I don't have an explanation for her failure to appear. I did leave her a voicemail, but I have not heard back.
Oh. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. She also has another warrant, looks like on a felon. Maybe not.
That is my understanding, or at least on another misdemeanor.
Bench warrant 10,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls case, People versus Carolyn Hoskins.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Hoskins, who should be present via Zoom. Ma'am, can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Carolyn Danielle Hoskins.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. As Your Honor may recall, unfortunately, last time that Ms. Hoskins appeared, she was sick, and that ended up turning into pneumonia, and she was hospitalized. That being said, she is now better, but wasn't able to have her Secretary of State appointment that she planned on having prior to today. So we are respectfully requesting an adjournment of about 4 weeks so that she can have that appointment to pay what she believes is her clearance fee.
Without objection, April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. Okay? Will that work for you, Ms. Hoskins?
Yes, it would. Thank you so much. I will get out there.
All right. You're welcome. And feel better, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
For cause the case of the people versus, is it Moise Khan?
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Khan. Mr. Khan is valid. He has given me permission to admit responsibility to double parking on his behalf.
Your Honor, I move to add count 2 double parking. Mr. Perini is going to admit responsibility. If you accept it, I move to dismiss the original charge.
And on behalf of your client, you are responsible for the fact that they double parked a motor vehicle on or about December 23rd, 2024 in Pittsfield Township.
I do.
All right. Court will accept that admission to count 2, count 1's dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can that be paid? Now, here we go.
Your Honor, now I'm checking my notes. I don't remember how much time he asked. I'd ask for
Oh, see, no.
I'd
See,
ask for a
Pate has
month.
it all. Pate has it all under control. She asked for like 3 days. And here you are.
He
Fine.
seems like he's got it together. I think he can do it.
All right. Pay it by April 4th, 2025. Boy, oh boy. Court does call the cases of the people versus Christopher Lambros.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Oh, there he is.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Lambros. Mr. Lambros, please state your name.
Christopher George Lambros.
Do I have a? Yeah. All right. Mr. Lambros, let me do this first. Sir,
Yes.
I need to arraign you on another charge of improper registration of a plate that is alleged to have occurred on or about September 25th, 2024, Ellsworth Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that there was an improper registration of your vehicle. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
All right, that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
All right, this is a public defender case.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Lambros. We waive formal reading and stand mute to the charges, Your Honor.
Defendant has waived formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter not guilty plea. Go ahead.
We do have a.
We've resolved it. We've resolved
Yeah.
it, Your Honor. Both cases will be dismissed today. He's presented for the proper treatment verification. So his cases will be done today.
Wow. You did that with Perny?
Yep.
Wow. Man. All right. These cases are dismissed. Take care, Mr. Lambros.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day. And I'll be coming by for that autograph. Take it easy, Judge. I'll see you. Thanks,
Thank
Lauren.
you, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. My autograph can't be worth anything considering it's like 5,000 that run around every day. Court calls the case, people versus Deshaun Lee.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with on behalf of Mr. Leith, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Don Leith.
Thank you, Your Honor. So my information in understanding is that Mr. Lee's license is currently revoked. I did advise him of the current offer. He has, and he is of that understanding as well. He does have a Secretary of State appointment scheduled for Friday. He would like to have that appointment to discuss that with the Secretary of State before taking
Try to
advantage of the
figure
current.
out, okay.
So I'd request an adjournment about a month if possible.
That, your appointment is this Friday, sir?
Yes, sir, at 10 o'clock in the morning.
All right. I'll adjourn this matter out to April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. or as you're invited to Kate. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Court calls the case, People versus Brian Maldonado.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Mr. Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Maldonado, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Brian Maldonado.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just yesterday, I got some new information from my client that I would like to look further into. I did discuss the current offer with him, but before he accepts it, I would like to discuss something further if a very brief adjournment would be possible.
Adjourn this to March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond continued. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maldonado.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Eric Mayfield.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Mr.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Mayfield, who should be present via Zoom.
He is not.
Oh. Well, I was expecting Mr. Mayfield to be here. He was going to be accepting, or we did have a resolution in place for his case today. For the record, I would respectfully request an adjournment. I'm not sure if I don't know what would have happened.
Bench warrant, 5,000, 10% warrant issues immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of the People versus Eustacia Merchant.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Miss Merchant. Your Honor, we have no contact information for Miss Merchant. I don't see her in the courtroom or in the Zoom. I don't have an explanation for her failure to appear, unfortunately.
All right. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 5,000, 10%. That warrant will not issue until March 10th, 2025. Court calls the case, People versus Gayatri Bogambali.
Conrad Silver on behalf of the Township.
All right. No response. We'll issue an order to show cause. Court calls the cases of People versus DeJohn Holmes. 3 cases. No, I'm sorry. Two cases.
Conrad Silver on behalf of the Township.
John Holmes. No counsel. Bench warrants will issue for defendant's failure to appear in these matters. Bond set in the amount of 5,000, 10%. Those warrants will issue immediately. There haven't been previous warrants. Current warrants, actually.
It is 5-1.
Okay, so I can't start it yet. Okay. Technically, I can't start it. We'll be right back and we'll get our 1 o'clock block going. Court's in standing recess.
All right.
Court does call the case of the People versus Blade Nelson.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Blade Nelson, unless you're in order to show cause. Failure to appear. Court calls the case of the People versus Stevens Penna.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pay on behalf of Mr. Hannah, who may be present via Zoom.
I do not have her.
Your Honor, I do not have an explanation for failure to appear. I was able to leave a voicemail, but to not hear back. For the record, I'd request an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue bond 5,000, 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls the cases of the people versus Juwan Wilson.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson,
come on up to the podium. Your cases.
Your Honor, Mr. Wilson and I did not have contact prior to today. I would ask for an adjournment of these 4 cases so we can touch base. I just want to ask him if his number still ends in 8278.
No.
Okay, don't give your number. Give it to Miss Kate when we're done adjourning here. All right. I will adjourn all of these matters then to April 2nd. (2025), 9 a.m. No, thank you. Court does call the case People versus Tasha Shiner.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Tasha Shiner, not here. I'll issue an order to show cause for failure to appear. Court calls the case of the People versus Matthew Wallace.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Wallace, issue an order to show cause failure to appear. Court calls the case People versus Adam Watkins.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Okay. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Adam Watkins.
Okay. I had issued an order to show cause. You have not been arraigned on this case, and I want to arraign you on the charges or the charge. The citation alleges that on or about January 7, 2025, at the location of Michigan Avenue near US 23 in Pittsfield Township, that you were found in possession of drug paraphernalia contrary to Pittsfield Township ordinances. Do you understand the nature of that charge, sir?
Yes.
That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. First question I have for you is, do you want to be represented by an attorney?
Yes, please.
All right. This is a public defender case.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Watkins. We will waive further readings, stand mute to the charges, and ask for another pretrial date, please.
And then every waive formal reading, the court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to March 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Set the defendant's bond at a $5,000 personal recognizance bond. I will order. Yes, sir.
I'm going to be in rehab. I got next 10 days. I'm going to be going into rehab for at least 30 days.
When are you going in?
Within the next 10 days. I'm in the process of getting hold of the number to the distribution center.
Okay. Where are you doing this rehab?
This is for Plymouth, Canton Township.
The court?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have paperwork indicating that?
On me, I do not. I just went to court yesterday for it. It's either 30 days in
So
jail.
here's what I'm going to do. You're going to need to get that paperwork to your attorneys here. Okay. So that they can show the court, but I'm going to leave it set for the 19th.
Within to bring it up here to court, I feel like I'll have it within the next couple of days. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be sending me the number from Canton for the distribution center. And then I'll know exactly, okay. To you, Bertie. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
All other standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons. There should be no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or illegal drug use. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will also sign an order for community corrections regarding testing. At this point, it'd be 2 times per week, but if you're in treatment, then deal with that. If I were to give you a test today, you gonna come back clean?
Nope.
I didn't think so. What have you been using?
Okay. It's been 3 days or so, but it's still probably come back dirty.
What do you mean it's been 3
I haven't used anything in the past couple of days. But it's still, I don't think it'll come back clean, to answer your question.
Well, your bond on your other case in Plymouth, you're not supposed to be using.
Yeah, this is all right.
Why?
That's why I'm going into rehab.
Are you testing out there?
Not so just starting everything. I just went to court yesterday.
Let me just tell you. Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, Mr. Allen. Young man.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this once.
Yeah.
When was the last time you used?
It's been about 4 days. To be honest with you. Yeah, the honest answer is I can't give you an exact date, but it's been within 3 or 4 days, Your Honor. To be completely honest with the courts. That's one of the reasons I'm going into rehab. Because of my lack of control.
Where are you going to rehab?
I'm still, I gotta get a hold of their 34th is sending me the number to the distribution center. I haven't gotten it yet. As soon as they get it to me, I'll know exactly then. And I can give the courts the information that I have at that point in time.
When did 34th order you to?
No, not 34th, 36th Plymouth. Yesterday. I was just in court yesterday.
Okay. And they ordered you to rehab?
Yes. Is it 30 days in jail?
What judge?
Your Honor, I found the case, if I may.
Yes, go ahead, Mr.
It's before Judge Giroux in 35th. It does look like he appeared yesterday and pled. Their ROAs look a little bit different than ours, so it's a little bit difficult to understand. But it looks like he was sentenced yesterday at noon. It says optional jail term, but that's all I can really see. Optional term 30 days. But it looks like that's all it says really about his sentence.
But it doesn't say anything about treatment?
It doesn't really tell me. Well, it says probation. It's pretty unclear. It says there's a bunch of entries with description. It says crime rights assessment. Oh, those are the fees. Optional jail term, probation, monetary transaction. He paid $125. Scheduled to report to jail 6/20/25. So that may be what he's referring to
Have a
when he
jail?
says.
You got a jail sentence?
If I may, Your Honor, my client seems to be the understanding that if he were to complete the inpatient rehab, he would not have to do that jail sentence, which I believe that might be why then his report date is in
June 2025. If so, maybe that jail time will not actually be imposed if he does that rehab.
Right, because it
Okay.
says optional term.
Yes, Your Honor.
I can
Do
print
they
out.
know you, do they know you've been using?
No.
Yeah,
I think that's
so.
why I chose to go to rehab versus going to jail. I think rehab would be better for me than going to sitting in jail for 30 days versus going to the rehab. That's what I need. I think
Well, I
personally.
understand that, but that's not my issue right now. Did somebody bring you here?
Yes.
Okay, so, but my question really is, does the other court know that you've been using?
No. They've not dropped me yet.
Pardon?
They've not dropped me, no, sir, Your Honor.
Did you talk with anybody at the other court, their probation department, anybody?
Yes, I have.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, sir. I think when you give me that 3 to 4 days, I think you've used more recently
No, sir.
just by the way that you're acting.
No, I've not used it at all. I've not. I promise, courts, I'm gonna use, it's been at least 3, 4 days. Minimum. I'm a little nervous right now, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to set the defendant's bond at a $15,000. I'll just do a 10% bond, but if he's got it, he can pay it. I'll set a special pretrial or at least review of his bond on March 12th, 2025 at 9 a.m. That's my sentencing docket. But that way he's not in your week. Miss Peyton, Miss Farady, if you get information more specific for me from the other court as to what he's supposed to do, then I'll consider his release. But at this point, he's not leaving here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court does call the case People versus Breon. Is it Najera?
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Najera, who has given me or authorized me to accept the offer on his behalf.
So, Your Honor, I move to add count 2 of double parking to accept Ms. Pate's admission. On behalf of the client, I move to dismiss the original charge.
And Ms. Pate, you admit responsibility on behalf of your client that a double parked motor vehicle on November 29, 2024 in Pittsfield Township.
Yes, I do.
All right, court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can they pay that?
He was asking for a month, Your Honor.
Of course he was. See, you're starting to get like parenting. April 4th, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case People versus Yusuf Kashmola.
Conrad Siller on behalf of the Township.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Marissa Boyles, P86438 on behalf of Mr. Kashmola. Will you state your name for the record, please?
Yusuf Cashmola.
All right. This is an arraignment on a DWLS. You waive formal reading, your client stands mute.
Correct.
Defendant never waive formal reading, standing mute, court will enter not guilty. All right. And what are we doing?
Come to an agreement, Your Honor. I'm going to add count 2 of MCL 257.326. Defendant's going to plead guilty to the add count 2. If you accept that guilty plea, dismiss count 1.
That is our understanding as well, Your Honor.
All right. Has he signed an advice of rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did?
My house.
As he mailed it in, but we can sign another copy if you.
Yeah, I don't have one.
May I approach?
Yes. So if you could please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. State your name again, please.
Yusuf Kashmullah.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form, correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Please look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights, which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights contained on that form.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you
No.
to plead? Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, Your Honor.
of your own free will
Yes.
and because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. On the date of February 1st, 2025, at the location of State near Research Park in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible to operate that motor vehicle that may be inclusive of yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule and would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Anything either you want to say before I impose sentence?
Your Honor, I'll just say that his license was suspended from 2 open cases, one in Southgate and one in Lincoln Park. He's retained our firm on both of those. The warrants have been lifted and he has court dates pending on both of them. So he's very close to getting his license back.
Okay. Well, very good. All right. Fines and costs of $250. I'll suspend 90 days in jail. When can you pay the $250?
Right now.
Okay, wait till you get out to the counter.
Okay.
I can't make change. All right, pay that today, sir. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor. Have a great day.
You do the same. All right. You may.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you just reach out to me? Do you have to affirm that you'll accurately, completely, and perfectly using your best skill and judgment, and to translate from English into French and from French into English in the manner not before the court to help you God?
I do. Hello.
Thank you.
And good afternoon, Madam Interpreter.
Oh, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Court does call the case of the People versus Kashubandi. Is it Tishubai?
Voilà, donc le dossier, donc l'affaire contre Kassoubandi Chibouyi est appelée tout de suite.
Conrad Siller for Pittsfield Township.
Oh, did you catch that, Madam Interpreter?
But I'm sorry, the interpreter is going to ask for repeat.
Yes, it was Conrad Siller for Pittsfield Township.
Voilà, donc c'est monsieur, excusez-moi, c'est monsieur Conrad Seller pour le township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate, with and on behalf of my client who stands to my right, please state your name for the record, sir.
Voilà, donc là c'est Nathalie et donc c'est avec le client et voilà, s'il vous plaît, monsieur, est-ce que vous pouvez indiquer votre nom, s'il vous plaît?
Ok, merci, mon honneur. Je m'appelle Kassoubandi Franklin Chibouyi.
So thank you. My name is Kassoubandi Chibouyi.
I have not had an opportunity to have a discussion with my client. I did leave a voicemail to the number we had with the help of Language Line, but I am not sure if that was the right phone number.
Voilà, je n'ai pas eu d'opportunité de parler avec mon client. J'ai laissé un message vocal à l'aide de l'organisme Language Line, mais je ne sais pas si c'était le bon numéro de téléphone.
I'm going to ask if my client would be so kind as to write down a new phone number for me. And then I would also be respectfully requesting an adjournment.
Voilà, donc je voudrais demander, s'il vous plaît, à mon client d'écrire gentiment son nouveau numéro de téléphone sur le bout de papier et je vais demander un ajournement de la session, s'il vous plaît.
I will adjourn this matter to March 19th, 2025 at 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates.
Voilà, donc je vais ajourner cette affaire au 19 mars 2025 à 9 h le matin, comme l'indique le document.
I would indicate to the parties that the defendant's license is valid.
Donc, je voudrais indiquer donc aux défendants que le permis de conduire que vous avez est valide.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Merci, Votre Honneur.
All right. Thank you, Madam Interpreter. Do appreciate it. Wonderful job.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a good day. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Au revoir.
I apologize.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hold on one moment.
OK.
Madam Interpreter. Go ahead.
Mon honneur, je voudrais savoir la suite. C'est comment, la suite? C'est comment, puisque je viens de recevoir ici match 19-2025, c'est quoi?
So I would like to know, so what's next? So I have a piece of paper that says March 19th, 2025, but what does that mean?
You will need to come back to the court unless your attorney instructs you otherwise that there's an arrangement that will take care of this matter.
Voilà, donc monsieur, vous allez devoir revenir au tribunal ce jour-là, à cette heure-là, à moins que votre avocat vous dise autrement. Sinon, il faudra revenir ce jour-là et à cette heure-là.
Oui, je comprends. À quelle heure? Il n'y a pas d'heure, s'il vous plaît, mon honneur.
Okay, I understand, so thank you. It doesn't say a time.
Your attorney will give you what time block you were placed in that day.
Voilà, c'est votre avocat qui vous indiquera l'heure à laquelle vous devez venir ce jour-là.
And I will try calling you again at this new number with an interpreter, sir, so that we can discuss.
Voilà, donc voilà, monsieur, je vais vous appeler avec donc au numéro que vous venez de me donner et je vais vous appeler avec l'aide d'un interprète. D'accord?
Merci beaucoup, mon honneur.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. And again, thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right, take care.